So World of Warcraft's Hallow's End Halloween event has existed since vanilla, and there's still people trying to get the Headless Horseman's mount. And some of these people may have been farming this event for years or even participating in this event for a decade or longer. But in this video, I want to go over a new strategy to be able to farm this mount as much as you want, giving you infinite opportunities to obtain this mount and any of the other cosmetic items from this event. Now, the most important part of this farm and what allows it to even exist is that you're able to queue up for the Headless Horseman boss kill at level 10. This means you're able to pretty easily create new characters and just queue right up for this dungeon to get a chance at all of those cosmetic rewards. And then you're just able to constantly create new characters to do this. And there's some specific choices you can make that makes this farm significantly faster, not only allowing you to queue up and get into these groups very quickly, but also allowing you as the level 10 to completely carry the group and kill this boss significantly faster than pretty much anybody else in the game can. Now, a couple pieces of information before we get into the farm. Your first Headless Horseman kill every day has a higher chance to give you pretty much any of the cosmetics. So after that first kill, all of your other kills have a lower chance. And then on top of that, you also have the Wicker hard mode activation. So right when you get into the dungeon, there'll be these Wicker statues that you can activate up to 4 of them. All of them make the fight harder, primarily just dodging different attacks. If you get hit by attack, your max health is reduced. And if you die, you fail that, you have to go on another character or go back the next day to get the hard mode kill that day. But your first hard mode kill per day will also have a higher chance. But every piece of information I could find is that the hard mode activation only affects the first kill per day, no matter if you're doing it on different alts. So when you're specifically doing this farm, don't activate any of the Wicker statues, don't activate any of the hard mode. Now, the basis of this farm is you're going to go create a new character using any of the allied races, because all of the allied races start you at level 10. So you can just create this level 10 character and then instantly queue in to go defeat the Headless Horseman. Now, on top of that, all of these allied race characters will start with a handful of gear. It's not a full set of gear, but it's a bunch of greens that will make killing the boss significantly faster. If you also have heirlooms while you're waiting in queue, you can equip your character with a full set of heirlooms that will make you even stronger, and they'll make you significantly stronger. But then on top of all of that, you're really going to want to be either a tank or a healer. You're not going to want to create a DPS and be in like a 5 or 6 minute queue every time you're doing this. And usually a tank or a healer will have right around the same queue time. I've been doing this on a healer and it's always been under a minute. Some of the time it'll be like 30 seconds. So it doesn't take any time at all when you're queuing as a healer or as a DPS. Now, I think the best way to go about doing this is to actually make a healer, just because of how scaling works. Because this is also something that was happening in WoW Remix, where if you were a low level healer, your damage was just significantly higher per ability than any tank or DPS would be, even at that level. For whatever reason, healer abilities just deal so much damage at those lower levels. Now, how I've been farming this is I've been making Dark Iron Dwarf Shamans. Now, the main reason I've been using Dark Iron Dwarfs is their racial ability is a cooldown that increases your main stat. So that just gives you more damage on top, and even getting a very small amount of intelligence at level 10 is a massive amount of damage. So what I'll do is I'll make my level 10 Dark Iron Dwarf Shaman, I'll log in, skip the cutscene, and right when I'm able to, I queue up for the Headless Horseman dungeon, and then I'll go in, I'll choose my specialization, make sure you're choosing Restoration, and then pretty much all you need to put on your bar is any of your damaging abilities. So the main thing I do, I put Flame Shock on my bar, I put Lava Burst on my bar, and then I put Lightning Bolt on my bar. And all you're going to do once you get into that dungeon, you're going to Ghost Wolf over to the pumpkin, spawn the Headless Horseman as quickly as possible. Once he spawns, you're going to hit him with a Flame Shock. You're going to pop your Dark Iron Dwarf Racial for extra intelligence. You're going to hit him with a Lava Burst. Then you're just going to spam Lightning Bolts until you have a Lava Burst up. Use that, go back to spamming Lightning Bolts, and it'll take no time at all to kill this boss just doing that. that. The amount of damage you deal at level 10 is absolutely absurd. Pretty much nobody will even have the opportunity to die with how quickly you're killing this boss at this level. And once a boss is dead, make sure to loot it, make sure to open up your pumpkin, learn any of the cosmetic items you get, and then if you're like me and you want to save any of the other items, I'm specifically trying to save all of the pumpkins you throw at people and it puts a pumpkin on their head. So what you can also do on every single one of these characters is just plop down your warband bank and put any items you want to save into that. Then you're going to log off that character, delete them, and what I've also been doing is after I delete that character, I'm just going to remake the same character in class. So I use the exact same name, and I'm not sure if this is something specific to that, but every time I use the exact same name, it keeps my action bar settings saved. Usually when I create a new character, I have to go in and select the profile I want to use, but since I've been using the exact same name, it saves those settings. So I just log in on that new character. Once I get in, I queue up, select my specialization, put my few abilities on my bar, and I'm ready to go. This is incredibly quick, and it only takes a few minutes for the entirety of one rotation of this farm. So that includes making the character, logging in, queuing up, killing it, logging off, deleting, making a new character. It only takes a few minutes for every single one of these kills. And because of this change that allows you to farm this on level 10 characters, you really shouldn't have an issue pretty much guaranteeing that you get the Horseman mount this year. Like mentioned, you can do every rotation of this in a couple minutes, so it only takes a handful of minutes to have another chance at the mount. So if you really want to go farm this, it'll only take a few hours to get more attempts than you've had in probably the past handful of years. And if you really want to get this, you can just spam farm this for the next week and you'll have a very low chance of not getting this mount. But that's pretty much all I want to go over for this farm. I definitely recommend going in and doing this if you're still looking for some of these cosmetics. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.